Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. This is just a video to go over kind of the thinking and intentionality behind peer review because I know it can be a little bit inundating and overwhelming to have another peer review your work, especially when writing about something vulnerable or personal to you. What I want you to keep in mind is it really is an invaluable chance to get objective feedback from somebody else who's being held to the same standards as you. So, as you complete peer review, kind of keep it in the back of your mind that you are evaluating your peer using the rubric in the peer review forum, and hopefully also remembering this is how you should evaluate yourself, right? So there is a link to the rubric toward the top of the form. It'll be there in some way, shape, or form. What I've noted here is try to read the paper once before you begin making comments or writing things down. This can just kind of help with understanding your peers' overall argument and direction. You, of course, want to make sure that the introduction includes that 3-point thesis, and it should be the last sentence of the introduction, also known as the first paragraph. You want to make sure that each body paragraph stays focused on just one point connected to the thesis, so your peer should not be merging 2 points into one paragraph. Also, that the points in the paragraphs follow the order of the points listed in the thesis. So as said before, your thesis is going to have points A, B, and C, and you should work through your paper, so should your peer, in the exact same order as the thesis. You want to make sure that you look for strong topic sentences at the beginning of each paragraph. So there shouldn't be specific examples from the TED Talk and quotes in that topic sentence. You want to make sure that it's kind of generally introducing the main idea in the paragraph. You also want to make sure that your peer has development and analysis in each paragraph as opposed to just summary. So asking yourself, does the writer explain why the evidence actually matters at the end of each body paragraph is super important. Make sure that quotes are not dropped in, so make sure that the quotations are introduced smoothly, properly. They should be cited in the correct MLA format and, of course, connected to the thesis statement. That's what I mean by the writer's ideas. Transitions really matter in terms of flow and making sure that the audience can understand logically how one idea relates to another or moves into another. So just make sure that your peer has transitions. One of the best ways to do this is to restate an idea one leaves off on at the start of a paragraph prior to moving into a new one. I also have noted to look for the personal experiences that connect back to the source material and the thesis. Also, make sure those experiences seem appropriate, right? So, is the experience that the peer is providing on, say, communication, does that actually relate to the point that Turkle is making in the example within that same paragraph that they've chosen to use? Make sure that you check that your peer has avoided slang and texting language. Of course, I is allowed in this paper, and it's really the only major paper where it's allowed. But there should be no second person pronouns like you, and of course, contractions should be omitted. So instead of writing don't, for instance, you would write out do not. Make sure that you not only fill out the rubric, but you also leave constructive feedback that helps them improve. So thinking about ways that the writer can include more clarity, more detail, and more organization are super helpful. You will be graded on how honest you are and the amount of time, energy, and effort that you clearly spent filling out that rubric and leaving comments at the bottom. If you've got any questions, please let me know, but just remember again, peer review is an excellent opportunity to not only improve your own craft, but to help a peer do the same.